Welcome back to the Theme Park Realm YouTube channel, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. And today's video is extremely exciting actually, because we are finally getting started on the space themed area. Now, I've been promising this area for such a long time, and it's great to finally be able to get started on it. Let's get the the building started, the pathways. Obviously we did start doing the pathways a little bit last episode, but we can really start now thinking about how we want this area to be laid out, and of course what rides and attractions we want to have within the area as well. Now, like I said in the last video, the main thing that I'm kind of focusing on first of all for this area is going to be sort of the main roller coaster attraction. So as you walk in, the first thing that you're going to see is going to be this massive roller coaster, but it's going to be half inside a building. So you can see what I'm doing at the moment is building kind of like an indoor area for this roller coaster to actually utilize. So like I say, it's not all going to be inside. So obviously in the spooky area, we built a roller coaster that was completely inside, and then we built one that was completely outside. But with this one, it's going to be half inside and half outside. So there's only going to be probably one main roller coaster in this area, but it's going to be half indoors and half outdoors. And I just think that allows us to create sort of like a really, basically just a more detailed experience for this coaster, because you're going to have kind of like the indoor section is going to be like the alien base that you're going to sort of enter into, and then everything that's outside that's going to be kind of like the sort of human sort of machine that's been built in this area. That's kind of like my thinking behind this anyway. But obviously if you do have any sort of other cool backstory ideas for this, do let me know in the comments down below. But like we said in the last video, this ride building actually backs onto the spooky area, so it's almost creating a, it's going to be a ride building, but then it's also going to help segregate the area between the space themed area and the spooky area that we created obviously over the sort of last few videos. But like I've been promising recently, I am today going to finally go through a few comments on the videos. Like I say, I do always read the comments and I do always respond to them, but I thought that it'd be nice just to go through a few comments, give people shout outs and whatnot. So I'm going to go back a couple of videos, and the first comment that I've got here is from, and I apologise for any pronunciations here, but the first comment that I've got is from Kokichi Omaha Gaming 2005. Now I apologise for the terrible pronunciation there of your name, but that's what we've got. So he said, or she said, if you want to add a sci-fi world, then just create a mountain range between the haunted house and the sci-fi area, kind of like I did with the castle. Well, obviously between the water park area and the spooky area, we did build a castle that's kind of got like two faces, which worked really well actually in that sort of space, because then it also created an entrance. Not only did it sort of split the areas apart, but it also made a nice entrance for both the spooky area and also the water park area as well. Obviously with this, where the entrance is kind of like in a bit of a weird location, so there isn't a direct entrance from the spooky area into this space themed area, because that's just kind of the way that I've done it now. So obviously, what you've said there, I would have done a mountain range, but it's kind of too late now unfortunately, because I've already sort of built this show building which sort of splits it. But I may create sort of a small mountain between the western area and the spooky area. So I definitely think some sort of mountain sort of theming is going to look good in this area, and you'll see that I do a little bit of that sort of towards the end of the video. But I definitely think something like that to sort of just make it look more sort of spacey, I guess, but it is going to probably work, and I will definitely look at doing that. So thank you very much for the suggestion. And then we've got another comment from Fire Freaks, who said, I found your channel somehow and I really like your videos. Well, thank you very much. The RCT3 series wasn't, by any means, it's not by any means sort of the main thing on this channel. We do of course other videos, real life videos from theme parks as well, but I'm glad that you found the channel through the RCT3 series, and of course I'm glad that you're enjoying the videos as well. And with these videos, I really enjoy making them. I actually really enjoy playing RCT3, and you can just kind of relax with it, build up all the theming, and I just find it really enjoyable. It's a really nice game, and I do hope that in the future they actually make another version of it, because obviously they've tried to make Planet, what was it? I forget what it was even called now, but they tried to make a new version of RCT3, and it basically just didn't really go down very well. I've never played it myself, so I can't really sort of pass comment or pass judgment on it, but all I know is that they made a new version of it and it didn't go down very well at all. I remember what it was called now. It was called Roller Coaster Tycoon World is what it was called, and I think it came out just as Planet Coaster came out, and I think because of Planet Coaster it kind of just put it put it down before it even had chance for people to sort of really try it properly. I think Planet Coaster kind of just came in and stole the show. So, you know, you never know, maybe they'll make another one in the future, but RCT3 has got a really nice sort of mechanic to it. I like the fact that everything's like on a grid. It's really simple, it's really easy to use, and I think that's why the game's so enjoyable, is just that simplicity that you've got to it. So yeah, it's definitely a great game, and I'm glad that you found the channel from that. The next comment is from iBen Ornelius, so thank you very much for commenting, iBen. I know that you've commented on quite a few videos now. I've definitely seen your name before. Really appreciate the support. He says, why maybe you can build a dueling coaster in the sci-fi area that's called Aliens versus Humans. Didn't even watch the whole video, he didn't, but there we go. And he said, what do you think about the name of the mega coaster in Wallaby, Belgium, Conda? To be honest with you, the mega coaster coming to Wallaby, Belgium this year, it looks absolutely insane. If you haven't seen the new coaster coming to Wallaby, Belgium, I keep saying Wallaby, Holland, Wallaby, Belgium, the new coaster coming this year, go and have a little look on Google now whilst you're watching the video, because that coaster looks absolutely incredible. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but Intamin, some of their new coasters, some of the elements on there are just absolutely crazy. Like some of the stuff is stuff that I've never seen before, even attempted on any previous coaster. That coaster, one of the weirdest things about it is its cobra roll. It's got a massive cobra roll, but it's like an inverted cobra roll, and you'll know what I mean if you have a look at some of the photos of the ride. But it's just got this like crazy kind of like twist where the inversion would normally be on the cobra roll, so it's really strange. But at the same time, I can just imagine that it's going to be a really incredible ride, and it's got some really snappy elements. You know, it's quite tall as well. I don't think it's classified as a hypercoaster, but it's certainly not far off, because it does look really tall from the photos that I've seen. In terms of the dueling coaster, I don't really think we've got room, unfortunately, for a dueling coaster. But what you will see is kind of what I'm going for what we're building today in this video. It is kind of an Aliens versus Humans theme, because the actual station of this coaster is going to be kind of like the rocket ship that sort of landed, if you like, and then the sort of the building that I built before, like I said, is kind of like an alien base. So the theme of this kind of is Aliens versus Humans, but it's just been done in a different way. I certainly wouldn't rule out a dueling coaster, but I just don't think there's enough room in this area, unfortunately. I mean, it is a great idea, to be honest, and if I had more sort of room to work with, then I definitely would install one. But unfortunately, I just don't think there's enough room in this particular area. But like I say, I may go back and have a look at that in the future, because it is a good idea. And I think, one thing that this park is lacking is a dueling coaster. So it's definitely something that I will explore, but it just depends how we do for room and stuff like that. Who knows? If there is enough room here, I might try and squeeze in another coaster. We'll just have to wait and see as the videos progress, because there is a lot of work to do on this sort of current coaster. But yeah, the next comment that we've got comes from John Rosie. He says he's new to the series as well. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad that you managed to find the series. We do need name suggestions. He's asking about name suggestions. We do need name suggestions. Now, the only thing with that is at the moment I haven't really named anything at all, nor have I let any peeps into the park, and that's purely just because I'm kind of going to wait until the very end of the series before we actually open the park and then go around naming everything. So if people do have name suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below, and then what I'll do is at the very end, for sort of like one of the last episodes of this particular series, I'll go in and then I'll go around and name everything. So please do continue to leave suggestions in the comments if you do have any ideas for any ride names, and we will be sure to go back through the rides at the very end of the series, and I'll basically add the names on, and then once we've done that we can then open up the park. Don't know how far off that is at the moment. There's probably quite a few more videos to go, I would imagine, so don't worry, there is plenty more life left in this series yet. Another comment that we've got comes from Kel, who said first. Well, thank you very much for commenting, and I'm glad that you managed to get to the video before anyone else. But yeah, seriously, thank you, for the support. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you are enjoying the series so far. Like I say, I really enjoy making these videos. It's it's a great series. One of the best that I've done on the channel. So yeah, really thank you for the support there. We've got another comment as well on the last episode from Noah Duster, I think the name is, and you've put, woohoo, new episode, can't wait to watch. Well, thank you again for all of the support. Thank you for commenting as well. And you've also said that you were inspired by what I've created on this park, and you've actually made your own spooky area and used some of the sort of ideas from the details as well. That's what it's all about, really. Let's share kind of ideas. If this series gives people good ideas, then absolutely, go for it. Copy what I've done, because even though you've copied it, you'll always add kind of like your own sort of creative sort of thing to it. So even if you copy this, for example, what we're doing at the moment, building this station area, it'll always be slightly different to what I've done, and everyone always adds kind of like their own sort of creative flair to it. So if you do take inspiration from something, I mean, it's not even really copying, is it? It's just taking inspiration. If you do take inspiration from anything on the series, then send me a photo. Go on Twitter and send a photo in. Let me know what you've done with it, because I'd be super interested to see what people have actually done with their the ideas from this series. And absolutely, there's definitely room for me to sort of learn from other people as well. So if you have done something, like you've taken that station building and made it look a lot better than what it does at the moment, then send me a photo of it, and I'll certainly take the inspiration, and then basically I can even work it into some of the buildings that I've got in the episode. So yeah, definitely do let me know if you do have any sort of good ideas, or if you've taken an idea and sort of worked on it, and I can always go back and see if I can also improve what I've built in the video as well. So that's the whole point. Like I say, the whole kind of aim with this series is to get people inspired to build stuff. So if that's what people are doing, even if they're sort of copying stuff out of here, it really doesn't bother me at all. Everyone copies ideas, don't they? It just happens. Everyone takes inspiration. I keep saying copying, it's not really copying, is it? It's just taking inspiration from other ideas. Everyone does it. So, and without that, we wouldn't sort of improve, or and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate it, and thank you again for commenting. But yeah, as you can see on the video at the moment, we are sort of just putting in some detail now for this coaster. Now, as I said before, it does have kind of like an indoor section. It's then got this massive outdoor section with the double corkscrew as well. Now, originally, what I was going to do is have the ride come out of the indoor section and then go into kind of like a massive launch section, and then I was going to make the end of the ride actually a lot longer, but for some reason, on this particular model of coaster, I couldn't add a midway launch section. It just wouldn't let me do it. So, in the end, I ended up cutting down the ride and making it a lot shorter than what I originally sort of anticipated. But actually, given the amount of room, we do have limited space in this area, so I think it's kind of a good thing that I've kept it sort of that small. And if anything, it's a very short but snappy ride, so I feel like it's going to be one of those where, okay, it's a bit shorter than some of the other rides, but it's actually a really intense coaster, and it is a really good ride to actually be on. So I think it's going to look good once it's finished. It's still not finished though. I'm not quite happy with it at the moment. I still need to add a lot more detail, and that's where I'm going to sort of carry on finishing off in the next video. I don't know what it is. I feel like more detail is needed. I don't know whether to put kind of like a wall around the whole area like I did in the spooky area. I might do that, because it just, for me, it's kind of lacking something. I don't quite know what it is at the moment, but it is lacking something. I mean, once I've built more rides around the area, it might be alright. Or, maybe if I build like a food stall and create another massive building with that might kind of fill some of the gaps in there. But I think it's always like this. When you very first build an area, you always kind of worry about how it's going to work and what it's going to look like when it's finished. So we will sort it out, and I'm sure it will look fine once it's been finished. But that's pretty much all that we've got time for in today's video. So as always, I do hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a comment down below. I will be going through the comments again in one of the next videos, so do be sure to let me know what your thoughts are. And yeah, other than that, I will see you in the next video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.